Hi, and welcome to this article, this episode of Organisational Health. And today we're going to be focusing on something that's quite close to my heart, is strong leadership. And it's an area where I've got quite a lot of experience. And that's not to blow my own trumpet or be a self-licking lollipop, but just a matter of fact. 28 years in the military, you learn a lot about leadership. You learn a lot about the styles of leadership and how you react to leadership, and also you determine the leader that you are. And obviously being a career soldier and having gone through to being an officer, I was on both ends of the spectrum, where I have been led by some amazing leaders that really epitomise strong leadership. And also I've then led, so I've actually become a leader in my own right. And I guess after that experience, it gives me the ability to offer some insights in terms of what leadership is all about. And I think since becoming a performance coach in the outside world, in the world of business, I'm also a leadership mentor, so to help people to define their leadership. And the first thing I would really say about strong leadership is, in general terms, it is something that you can develop. We've seen all of the conversations about, is it a passage of right? Is leadership about a bloodline? And no, it's not. It is absolutely something that you can develop and you can nurture and you can grow and you can learn. And I think today I just want to share three key areas of strong leadership. I want to touch on the beliefs of a strong leader. I want to touch on some of the skills I believe are key to being a strong leader, and just pick up on four qualities of strong leadership. So if we just have a look in terms of the belief of a strong leader, I think for me, what's always been really critical is embracing change. Change is something that scares a lot of people, and a strong leader embraces change. And as a result of that, you can be an ambassador for change, and you can develop, a good culture in an organisation that too embraces change. Leading on from that, and I touched on at the end there, is the organisational side of life, is people first. One of the things that we had in the military, which actually Simon Sinek wrote a great book on it, is Leaders Eat Last. And this was something that he learned from the US military, and something that I learned and embraced when I was a leader at the various ranks as a senior NCO and certainly as an officer. And many a time I found myself on operations where maybe I'd missed out on a meal, and the only thing that was in plentiful supply was bread. But you know what? It was the key point of making sure that the men, the girls that were on the front line were looked after first, and that was the analogy of it. So if you focus on this leaders eat last, then you're not going to be far off putting all of your people first and recognizing their needs and what they're looking for, and then embracing diversity. Now, this is something, to be fair, that I've learned much more about since actually leaving the services. And it's not because the services don't embrace diversity, it's just they don't embrace the full range of diversity in the same context as is done outside. And again, I think whether you're looking at culture, whether you're looking at ability, whether you're looking at cognitive diversity, the list is quite full in terms of the areas that you can really add value to your organisation. So what does that diversity look like? So the second point I wanted to talk about was the skills. Now, these might not be the skills that you would necessarily associate directly with being able to develop and to improve. And the first one is strategic thinking. Often we see strong leadership as about the need to make decisions, and that's absolutely right. When the chips are down, it's better to do something than nothing. But the point here with strategic thinking is twofold. One, it is to present the idea, the strategy, the development, the focus, the vision. I mean, take Jim Collins, the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal. Is to be able to position that, to allow your people to determine what the fine detail results in as they move on in terms of achieving what it is you seek to achieve. And then it is that ability actually to make decisions. So strategic thinking is definitely something. Leading on from that is the ability to communicate, and communication really is one of the biggest challenges. And if you think always of the communication as the response that you get, you'll go a long way towards actually starting to develop your own communication skills. Adaptability is another area of focus there in terms of being adaptable, and that links directly into change. You know, having the ability to adapt, and in many respects this is an area where you have the ability to adapt your mindset, your thoughts, your beliefs on the basis of what actually your people might say. You know, the idea that in a boardroom you go in and start with an idea and come out at the end of it with a completely different one is quite significant. And then emotional intelligence is another skill to develop, and that means that, you know, learning that ability to communicate more effectively, recognizing the emotions in others. Finally, looking at the qualities of strong leadership, and there are 4 qualities that I generally, you know, have highlighted in the article, and that is integrity, it's confidence, it's resilience, and it's empathy. And I think when you look at those, you know, you can't be a strong leader if there is no integrity. There's just a no-brainer, a non-starter. You can't be a strong leader if you haven't got confidence. You can't be a strong leader if you don't have the resilience to stay the course and be that leader that your organization needs to be. And you certainly can't be a strong leader if you don't have a level of empathy. And it goes back to the emotional intelligence, learning that particular skill, how to understand, see and use it. So there you have it. It's a short introduction to the article today. Enjoy it, have a good dive into it. But what I'm really looking forward to is the conversation. Thanks a lot.